Hello everyone, this is going to be my tank guide. I'm going to show you what setup I use to tank which trial, and off-tank and main tank setup. Let's go ahead and start with CP. I am max level for Clockwork City. This is my red tree. 49 Hardy, 49 Elite Defender, 41 Thick Skinned. We go over to the left one. 61 Ironclad because there's a lot of direct damage a tank takes. And then 26 Bastion and 4 Quick Recovery. As for green, I do 40 Warlord, 75 Arcanist, 11 Tenacity. This one needs fixed. Okay, 23 Tumbling, sorry. 81 Shadow Ward, because you don't want to max out that. It's not worth the 19 CP to finish it out. This tree, since it's mostly DPS, we're going to go 100 Blessed, 100 Precise Strikes, and 30 Master at Arms. Because most of the damage a tank does is direct damage, and you get these two passives, which deal a little bit more damage. But because that's kind of the only thing we can do, because we kind of have to spec into damage at that point. We've already done all we can to help out our group. Okay, so skill bar. I use this front bar stays the same the entire time, unless the group needs rapids for like the beginning part of AA or the beginning part of HRC. Then I swap out Absorb Magic for Rapid Maneuver. And as soon as we get there, before we start, I open up One Hand and Shield. So, say I popped Rapids, we ran all the way over there. I can just immediately do that, and we're good, and I can go roll into the next fight. Let's see. So we want Pierce Armor. You want this because it adds Major Breach. The other two you really don't need. The other morph is kind of worthless. You want Heroic Slash because that ulti gain that you get is amazing. You want to try to keep this up, the minor heroism up, as much as you can. It's also really nice to have minor maim on a boss for like the mages Nova or Rakat's burn. It's really nice to make sure that the boss always has that on it. This is mostly here for the block cost reduction, except whenever we're on a Flame Shaper fight. I can use this on Flame Shapers and Rakat's gun. You cycle between Absorb Magic and Igneous Shields. Absorb Magic, Igneous Shields throughout the entire fight on Rakat whenever he starts doing gun. You want Echoing Vigor because the DPS are going to be running the other Morphic Vigor. You want this one so that both of them stack if they are running it. And it also heals almost your entire group. At least your whole melee group and your off tank. Or your main tank, depending on if you're off tank. You want Aggressive Horn. You're going to be trying to keep this up the entire time. Because in Vet Trials, it's really nice to max out the DPS you have, especially hard modes, SO, and Maw and Hoff. You really want to keep up that. Let's see. This is our range taunt. We use this to pull bosses or chains, depending on what you want to do. We have Choking Talons. This is really useful for trash fights. And Maw. It is extremely useful in Maw because if you are tanking light side boss at the moment, like say you swapped bosses like you normally do, and you have to go tank light side boss now, then you can keep the light side boss adds in. And on Zahaza, you can keep all the cats in. Chains is a really useful skill because you can chain in like the stranglers and the archers and stuff that are just left behind in trash fights. So you kill them to get the most score. And you can chain in a couple of the ads, like Zahaza and the twins. You can chain in both the ads on that. On the twins, you can chain in both of them. It's easier to range taunt the light ones if you don't have the if you have someone bashing them, it's easier to range taunt the light ads than trying to chain them, then swap bars, taunt them, and then chain in the next one. You want Green Dragon Blood because this patch we are not able to use Shuffle unless we are wearing 5 pieces medium. They changed that, so it's better to run Green Dragon Blood here. You want Hardened Armor on here because you get about a 7 resistance with that resistance there. And you gain a small damage shield and return magic damage. A tank does not do any damage, so I wouldn't worry too much about your damage. Magma Shell is here for my healer died, I need to stay up. And whenever you start getting like 5 or more axes is whenever I'd start using Magma Shell. Magma Shell normally costs 200 and Warhorn costs 250, but I'm running Dragon at the moment because I'm in my off tank setup. Deep Breath. This is a very, very useful skill. Whenever you are up top on HRC, you swap out chains for Deep Breath, so you can taunt all the ads. And then there's this little hallway where the boss spawns. You taunt ad 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you run in and you hide in this little corner right here. Whenever you're upstairs. It's also really nice on the twins fight because you can keep all the little light ads bashed as long as they didn't target you. Your DPS still have to be aware and get ready to bash them. As for passives, you do not want anything in here. It's all DPS junk. I mean, if you have points, go ahead and put them in. But other than that, you really don't need to. You want everything in here because it's all tanky. You can skip Elder Dragon if you need to. It's just a tiny little healing buff. It's really not too great. You want everything in here. Go down to Sword and Board. You want everything in here. Heavy armor. You want to get everything in here. If you are wearing any medium, you want to get Windwalker and Athletics. If you are wearing any light armor, you want to get all of Recovery. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And Spell Warden. You do not want these two because they are DPS junk and you have to be wearing 5 pieces light, and a tank never wears 5-piece light. Okay, so gear. This is my off-tank setup. At the moment, I'm running Bloodspawn. Torugs Pact. You want your weapons to be Torugs Pact. And free body pieces. And Dragon. I have 2 body pieces and free jewelry. You want shield play enchants because it lowers your block cost. And you want multi-effect enchants, the tri-stats, for your armor. This piece doesn't have it because that piece is going to get changed out. As for infused versus sturdy, it's really up to you. If you feel like you want more resources, go infused. If you want to have more resource management, go ahead and go sturdy. I like it because it gives me more mag. As for Bloodspawn, you can either do 2 heavy, both in sturdy, or infused. It's better to put sturdy on your small pieces and infused on your big if you are going to go infused. Don't run all infused. You want some sturdy pieces. You can either go all heavy, or you can do 5-1-1 or 6-1 because of, I forgot to mention this, but if you go into Undaunted, there's this that gives you 2% more resources per armor piece you have equipped. This is just nice because it gives you more stuff whenever you grab shards and orbs and stuff, whenever you pop a synergy. The stamina recovery on this is pretty worthless, so don't run a 1-piece on this. I have seen some tanks run 2 mag recovery sets, and that actually works out really well for them. You do notice whenever you get mag recovery, like this 2-piece on here, I notice a big difference whenever I'm running Dragon for my mag recovery, opposed to Ebon. If you are main tanking, you want to be wearing 5-piece Ebon and 5-piece Torugs Pact. I don't have 5-piece Torugs Pact because I have to go grind to get my Ebon jewelry because I was running Alkosh from before Morrowind. This is a really nice buff. You want your main tank to be running this inside of Trials because that 1.1 HP is really, really useful to keep your group up. With this, I have 40k HP by default. I know that's kind of overkill, but I've run more HP because my off-tank setup doesn't have too much HP, unless I spec all into HP. This is what my attribute looks like. Your stam's gonna be a little bit low, so you have to know how to resource management your stam. It might also help that I'm not running the right jeweler. Let's see. If you just have Alkosh, this is what Alkosh would look like. Give me a second. Alkosh is not near as good this patch though, because it's really hard to keep uptimes up. And torugs is much more reliable. You can keep it up 90+% of the time. You want to make sure that you're running infused weapons with a crusher enchant. This one's defending because that's all I have. This is what an Alkosh setup would look like. But then again, I also don't have, Alkosh isn't as good anymore. So you want to run torugs. I don't have torugs to show you that. That's my tanking guide. I hope this can help you build up your tank a little bit. Good luck, and I hope you can tank some bed trials.